I want to just briefly go over this piece by Daniel Denver in Politico from the other day. As you know, we here at the Majority Report have been longtime warriors on the war on Christmas. And it's apropos of something that Digby wrote, and we're going to talk about it, but you should know that while Bill O'Reilly says that he's only been at this war on Christmas for 10 years, and back in the day, I think John Gibson wrote a book about it. He was another Fox host. One of the stupidest ones I think they've ever had, frankly, which I know says a lot. And, of course, that mantle's been taken up by such luminaries as Sarah Palin and Sean Hannity and Glenn Beck and the American Family Association.
Gretchen Carlson.
And Gretchen
Don't
Carlson.
forget her. She's
of
key.
course, yes. They're all warriors fighting the war on Christmas. Daniel Denver points out that this is nothing new. Back in the 1920s, Henry Ford published a news weekly. And in one of those, he wrote, last Christmas, or I'd say it was, this was actually from the International Jew, the world's foremost problem. That was, I guess, written up in that weekly. Henry Ford, no great fan of the Jews. Quote, last Christmas, now we're talking about the 1920s now. Last Christmas, most people had a hard time finding Christmas cards that indicated in any way that Christmas commemorated someone's birth. People sometimes ask why 3 million Jews can control the affairs of 100 million Americans, in the same way that 10 Jewish students can abolish the mention of Christmas and Easter out of schools containing 3,000 pupils. Yes, folks, the first shots in the war on Christmas could heard over almost a century ago in this country. In 1959, it was the far-right John Birch Society that published a pamphlet alerting the nation to an assault on Christmas. Back in the 50s, there was no word for war. It was just assault in the war on Christmas. Carried out by, quote, UN fanatics. What they now want to put over on the American people is simply this. Department stores throughout the country are to utilize UN symbols and emblems as Christmas decorations. So you should know there's nothing new, ladies and gentlemen, particularly when you're talking about regressive right-wingers.